hitting the button just a little bit too early. He's waiting.
All right, let's try this again. Can you hear me now?
I can totally hear you now, Adirondack Rick. Welcome.
Not sure what happened there. Anyways, welcome to the race. They are both off. Let's see how this goes. Are we going Luigi or Link today?
I'm a fan of never Luigi. So
we're going for a map check, though. We got Tower of Hera and Eastern as a crystal. We have Desert as the red pendant.
Good to know. We're seeing a pretty crazy route here. Patty taking off immediately to the dam. What do you think about this opener?
This is an interesting move. You only really have yourself open to 2, and if you get lucky with bombs, then you can go at least maybe try to get yourself into Moldorm Cave. Oh, that's a nice tree pull there for Spooty.
Yeah. Speaking about getting lucky with bombs, there it is. Spooty's got 4 now, everything he needs for this early. Kakariko play and 1 extra for Moldorm Cave. Gonna be pretty good to have in the back pocket.
All right, let's see if this is an anxiety tree. Oh, did I just see a mirror?
I think that was just a blue rupee, but maybe chat can confirm for us. Definitely can see that book, though. All soggy, but definitely still legible. Patty, in his bizarre dam play, has picked up some sort of early advantage.
Well, hopefully we will see from Patty, because we are getting conflicting answers. It was something blue. That's guaranteed. SpootyBiscuit's deciding to go ahead and grab some health.
Looks like Patty is now starting at Sanctuary. He's going to be heading over there, so hopefully we'll get a second look at whatever that mysterious blue object was.
So SpootyBiscuit will pick up the full heart container and says no to the piece of heart.
Yeah, well, it's what? How many seconds is it to hold that thing over your head?
But as long as it is to grab that heart container.
Like, it's got to be like, I don't know, you collect 4 of those things, you get a heart. I don't know. I guess I can see.
Yeah, I think you're going to find enough of those pieces of hearts in your journey itself. Anyways, Patty will get confirmation for us. That is the mirror.
Definitely the mirror. That's huge.
So if Swamp Palace is a crystal dungeon, we are going to need an Agahnim required seed.
We've got 2 pendants out in the wild. So the odds are, you know, pretty fair that you won't need to do Agahnim, but pretty interesting thing to have weighing over the players' minds at this point.
Patty's not going to give us a pedestal check, although he can be able to do so right now. And nothing good in the Thieves' Den.
Nothing yet. Still lots of places left to check in Kakariko. Patty also did a tree pull, so he's got his own set of bombs. Not going to be a problem for him as he approaches Kakariko.
Well, the money's nice, but the problem is we don't see any weapons just yet. There's a piece of part, and you're going to be guaranteed to pick up that one anyway, so. Thank you for the beeping, Patty.
Yeah, it's, you're right. Thank you, is the words I have to respond to that behavior. Up to 400 rupees. Spooty's been picking up absolutely every jar that he can, and I've seen this make a difference. I've seen one player pick up everything he could. Ooh, nice blue tunic there for sale for 100 rupees. But just foraging for rupees actually made a difference between getting over that 500 mark for Zora, changed their routes completely. So it can make a difference picking up all these little fivers.
Chad's saying Morse code, is that SOS?
I think it was pretty constantly going there for it to actually be Morse code. I mean, if it was saying anything, it was ha 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 as Patty trolls us the only way he can right now.
So the rupees are looking good. They both had visit. Well, Spooty has. Patty will soon go ahead and visit the fashion store of Hyrule.
Yep.
All right.
Sells 1 color shirt.
Will boots be required? Maybe. That's the lamp. By logic,
they're probably going to want it.
It is required. And there's some red goo in a bottle at the race game. Will Spooty go for it? Looks like that's going to be yeah. So we're probably going to see him also check the sick kid while he's here in town.
Yeah, I mean, the red goo is nice, especially early on when you can be in danger exploring places like Lake Hylia, but definitely the main concern here is getting that bottle and checking one more location, especially while you're kind of in the Kakariko area.
So while Luigi goes light blue, Link is going to go and turn in this bottle to the sick kid, see what we're going to get. I don't know. I think the sick kid is just going to be generous today.
Generous with his money, I think, because I haven't seen sick kid have anything good ever.
That's where I was going with that.
Yeah. He's like, Link, I'm just a little boy. I've saved up my allowance.
In that case, it's just going to be a single rupee.
20 rupees, here it comes. Okay, nope. I don't know where you found those. That's pretty dangerous. Definitely happy to take those away from a little child.
Patty was thinking about skipping that, but he will go ahead and go grab that, and now some extra money for Spooty, and he will go ahead and check the dam area.
He's going to get that book, and the book didn't really help Patty at all, finding it early, so the route choice there not going to be making too much of a difference.
Well, with the book, I would start thinking maybe to head on over towards Desert at some point early in this game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is a pendant, so that's always an ugly feeling. But there's a fair number of locations there, and I've noticed Desert pretty often when you have an early book or an early way to get inside. Very often has something.
But you know, though, to be honest, version 26 has said any dungeon, doesn't matter if it's pendant or not, you might want to go ahead and visit it.
We've been seeing a lot of pendant-required dungeons in these races. I fully expect the players to head over there eventually, but Spooty says there's way too many things to check over at Lake Hylia first, so heading in the direction of Moldorm Cave. Patty having that book on his way to Kakariko would have been really something if he checked that pedestal and found out it actually was a pedestal required seed. Having that information right at the start of a race when your opponent does it would completely change the dynamic of things, but he didn't, so we're not going to have that interesting mechanic at play.
Spooty making quick work of the mini Moldorm Cave on 3 bombs.
And Patty having already checked Dam.
Oh, there's the boots and the flute.
What?
And the moon pearl.
Oh my goodness. All right, is Patty going to find anything that's going to be anywhere nearly as awesome as that mini Moldorm Cave? I mean, the answer is no, but it's something. Will he find something here in Escape?
Single arrow.
It is significant. But
cue the Price is Right failure horn.
Wow. Boots enabling checking of bonk rocks. Flute enabling all kinds of things.
Enable that 20 rupee.
Patty's killing guards here with bushes, determined to keep going this way, and now it's not like he's going to miss mini Moldorm Cave, right? He's not going to miss those items. But the boots being there means everything he's doing right now, he's doing it slower than if he had gone there first. This is all time lost for Patty.
So will SpootyBiscuit go grab that lamp off the library? I think he would.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you've got the book, you're on your way to Desert.
Well, this flute help makes that Desert a better play now.
Yep.
Oh, there's the Quake.
All right. Patty's got something at least for his dip into escape here.
Now he's trying to run after a guard.
Down to 2.5 hearts, luring the guard into the corner, sacrificing his hearts for the guaranteed hit on the guard. This is just the sad life of the swordless open mode here.
But here's the problem with what Patty just did. He just used up all of his bombs, so he cannot press any further because the next chest is required combat. Spooty's going to give us that pedestal check. Can we get some pedestal hype? 9.5 minutes in. No!
Just a little piece of love. So Patty's in a weird spot now. He's devoted time to checking the Hyrule Castle, but unable to actually finish checking it. That's going to be something he's worried about, at least for a little bit. Spooty going to go ahead and head down to the library now after checking that pedestal. And where's Patty going? Because he's not going to Mini Moldorm.
Well, he bought some bombs, so now he's going to head towards Mini Moldorm.
Okay.
Getting the boots is going to help SpootyBiscuit out when he decides to head on over towards the desert, but he's not going to go there just yet. He's going to go into Death Mountain, see if that's where the progression wanted him to go.
Yep, he's got the lamp here, which can be a logic blocker. I guess the flute kind of skirts around that a little, maybe? Not sure, but able to check the old man here.
Well, the flute makes so that's inside Spectacle Rock would not require the lamp. But the old man, you'd still need to have the lamp in order to have him buy logic.
So this could be something good coming up for Spooty, but it's just going to be 20 rupees. Patty is going to find out all the glorious things he's been missing, not to mention some bombs that would have helped while he was down in Hyrule Castle as well.
Just an escort fee.
Link charges. I mean, that was what, like 30 seconds? That's pretty high. Link's high class.
He runs a very efficient taxi service.
Flippers.
Nice place for those.
Lots of things opening up before the players. They haven't even been to Eastern or anywhere near the area. Haven't been to Desert yet.
Only dungeon activity we've seen was Patty trying to go through the first part of Escape, and then he ran out of bombs.
Yep. So with Flippers, is that leading them towards the Zora area? We've seen the players down to Mini Moldorm, but no one swung over to Ice Cave or did any fake Flippers to Hobo, Whirlpool, none of that. So we might see that in a bit, but not before Desert from Spooty.
Well, I think the thing with Spooty is he wants to get the 500 rupees so he can buy the item off Zora and make it a one-trip thing.
Yeah, he's pretty close. Odds are pretty good. Check a couple more places. That'll push you over the limit. We saw one player actually get the last 18 rupees they needed to get over 500 from the Waterfall cave just before checking Zora, so that was rather fortuitous. Might be in a similar situation here.
Yeah, but the thing is that you don't want to gamble that you're going to get the rupees because you might end up with a scenario where you don't. These guys don't have a stable weapon just yet.
Patty activating the flute. We get to hear the lovely flute song as Spooty's going to be seeing what some of Desert Palace has to offer. Not in a hurry to check the key torch location because he does have those boots.
It's a good thing that he grabbed the boots before making his way over to the desert because it turned out that the second portion of this desert was boot block.
Where's Patty off to now? Oh, doesn't want to forget the lamp waiting down at the library, and second chance to check the pedestal here for Patty. He's opting not to, which makes sense. And after he gets this lantern, where's he going?
So the fun part is that this is maybe a combat required room here in order to get to one of the items. As Patty picks up the lamp and Spooty takes care with 3 bombs. Room is done. What is his reward?
20
Junk.
rupees. He's gonna need those to buy more bombs soon. He's down to 3.
Well, the good thing is that it gave him more rupees to get him closer to that 500 rupee total he needs for Zora. The bad news, though, it's still not a stable weapon.
Yeah, absolutely. And at some point, like, even if you get like exactly 500, if you have no bombs, are you worried if you blow them all on King Zora, you're left without bombs and no way to buy them? I mean, I guess the tree pull situation can be pretty reliable, I guess, as a source of bombs.
Our container, the second item in here, so therefore, This is not going to be anything that progresses this logic, it turns out. So the 3 bombs at the end of the desert ledge, that's what Spooty's going for.
It's not often you see someone take a pretty big detour like this just to pick up some bombs, but in this situation, absolutely, says Spooty. And without a way to really fight Landmolas, he figures time to go.
Well, he's got no way to access them right now because you still need the Power Glove to get to them.
Oh, yep, correct. You're right. So off to Ag in his cave real quick.
You know, I think the treasure probably is over behind Sarashla.
That's a pretty good bet. I think Waterfall Cave is going to have something.
Oh, that's a nice spot. And oh, Patty's bomb gets hit by these statues, so therefore it does not hit the intended target.
The rope's moving away, picks up the same bomb and walks it over to make sure it makes contact with that enemy.
This is where having the blue mail will help these guys out, and the fact that they can do this kind of combat, because losing a heart every time you make a maneuver like this would be very, very painful.
Yeah, they've found a couple of hearts pretty early on in the seed here, but they still don't have a whole lot, so you're absolutely right there. Spooty is going to be following my route over to Ice Cave and then probably to some of these flipper locations, picking up a full heart container.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Spooty heads over to Hobo before he commits himself into heading up to Zora. But he's either going to do that or he's going to go eastern. We'll find out when he makes a right turn or a straight turn. Oh, yep, he's going to check Hobo.
Lake Hylia, 300 rupees, not bad. They know where the mirror is as well.
That is just staring at them and laughing at them right now.
Yep. He would much rather get those 300 rupees in advance, as in the water near the whirlpool. That will take him up to King Zora. Maybe the Hobo will help him out. I don't know why he'd be here if he had this money, but maybe he's got it.
Watch, he has a rupee.
Okay.
Nope, 20.
He's getting closer.
30 more to 500.
This is mean. This is what I was talking about, like picking up every bush, pulling every tree, doing everything you can to scrape together rupees can sometimes make the difference in these situations.
So he's going to make that path over to the waterfall, as you mentioned, and now, if he finds a red rupee, he's got only 10 more rupees to get Zora, and watch, maybe he will find something here.
10 rupees. At that point, okay. Oh my goodness, so close. What do? Do you start, like, picking up rocks and throwing them at crabs and stuff now? Do you desperation farm these last 10 rupees?
Unfortunately, you still can't pick up the rocks. I think he was actually thinking of that too, but no, it didn't happen. So we are at a point here where these two runners need money. And here's what Spooty's going to do. I like this move. He knows he can get 30 down here.
That's going to push him just over the top. It's a shame that he had to flute out and come here and then head back afterwards. But there it is. Now sitting pretty at 520.
Loss of about maybe 45 seconds maximum, but he's going to have the money now. He's going to be able to get Zora. This is not going to be a wasted trip for him. So he's going to whistle back because now the idea is, what does Zora have? What is on that ledge?
I guess we're going to find out. I'm trying to figure out what sort of Patty's rupee pace is by the time he gets to the locations that Spooty has checked. How many rupees is he going to end up at? I get the feeling it's going to be less than Spooty.
Yeah, I think just based on his count right now, it probably is going to be less. Well, what's going to be on that ledge? That's the first question. A heart container.
More hearts. Getting pretty healthy early on in this seed. One last very expensive location to check in this corner of the world map for Spooty.
All right, get your guesses in. What is going to be worth 500 rupees today? Is it another life lesson? Is it a ripoff? It is
Fire Rod in hand for Spooty. Combat weapon, though magic dependent. This is a really big find for Spooty. Hopefully, Patty finds his way over there soon. I mean, he's running out of locations. It looks like he is going to be heading to Eastern, though.
So that helps. Now, Spooty will head on over to Srashla. He will go ahead and see what's hanging up behind. And usually there's something good here when you're starting to run out of options. But Patty's going to get there first.
He's going to get a couple hearts as well to refill just a little bit before he checks these 3 locations. We got money. We got hammer.
Oh, permanent weapon with a hammer. That's good.
Yeah, that is very good. Hammer's a little unwieldy to use in combat, but it's a heck of a lot better than nothing. You can use it as much as you want, and it does some pretty good damage as well. Not to mention those extra rupees Patty found. I mean, oh, he's missing the 20 up at the ice cave. If he had gone there first, I think he would have hit that 500.
I think he did. He's going to go to Hobo.
Okay.
Hobo's going to give him 20, and then he's going to get 20 in the Waterfall cave.
There it is.
So he's going to get enough.
That's going to be enough. That's going to save him some time.
So Patty's going to get lucky here by getting 220 rupees up ahead to get him what he needs for Zora, and then he'll be able to claim his fire rod. So here's the real first exploration of a dungeon from Spooty.
That's right. Ooh, he's got a sword. The hammer comes just moments before the sword. That's a bit of a shame, but you know what? You're happy to have both. As we can see, they're pretty much, equal on items. You would be tempted to say Spooty is ahead at this point, having already headed into Eastern Palace, while Patty still has to, clean up Zora and things. Wait, Patty, where are you going? Okay, he's fluting out.
Well, because he probably doesn't want to take his chances with whether or not he can get some rupees up there in the waterfall. So he's not going to gamble on this.
Such a shame. That was a chance to get one up on Spooty. Opportunity
Attack!
Gone now. Using the hammer here in Hyrule Field, trying to get some rupees. 8 bombs for Spooty. Pretty nice, though he does not have to rely on them for combat anymore. Where's the money? Patty did not have the presence of mind to head back to Kakariko and check those pots.
Yeah, this would be a whole lot faster than what we see from him. Piece of heart by Spooty. And Spooty is not checking. Wow, he is not. Now, did he already get all 3 items?
I feel like that must have been the case, yeah.
It had to be. I didn't see what the second item was. I saw the piece of heart and the sword, but... Patty, it doesn't work when you hit those guys.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
He's killing him with bombs. And this whole time, he could have just gone to Waterfall Cave and it would have been super smooth.
He's going to probably have a few choice words when he gets up here and finds a 20 rupee.
Yeah, he's going to feel a little dumb, but he's also going to feel quite relieved because that whole thing was not going well at all for him. And now he doesn't have to worry about it too much. As Spooty, after having checked Eastern, is heading into the places that Patty has checked that he hasn't. I think one of the only locations. And that's going to even things up on the item when he picks up the Quake Medallion. And he's actually going to be able to go a little further, I suppose. So could be another thing not going Patty's way here.
So what Patty just showed us is how not to farm rupees.
Yeah. Just get lucky instead.
And it would have been nice if one of those enemies were in that rupee drop pack, but unfortunately he did not get lucky with that. So Spooty's going to pick up the Quake. Patty's going to go after the heart container.
Hoping maybe it's the Sank heart.
No, this was going to be a save and quit no matter what. So worst thing would have been for it to be Sank heart.
Back up at 6 hearts now for Patty as Spooty's going into the parts of escape we didn't see from Patty.
And he's heading up that way now because he's got the hammer as a stable weapon to go up against these guards. What we mean by Sanctuary Heart is that is the one and only full heart container in this game that will replenish all of your life because it's what's found in the Sanctuary chest after you get through the escape in the regular game.
The idea is you're usually kind of banged up coming out of the escape sequence, so the developers, didn't want you to be in a critical health situation the moment you step out into, Hyrule Field and the world, so they made this one heart special and have it also refill your health.
Stupid rats.
Yeah, they're a pretty big problem. Not as big a problem as they are if you come here earlier on and you don't have a sword, you don't have a hammer, you don't have a lamp. They can be a real menace.
I am almost willing to bet at some point in this run we are going to see a magic cape, and you know what that means.
Yeah, I know. I've been thinking, like, what locations are left for them to check. They got, they had the flippers and the... Well, now that they have the hammer... No, never mind. They're still stuck on Death Mountain progress. So there's... Yeah, things are running out. Agahnim looking more and more like the thing that has to happen.
And you remember, the Agahnim could be required anyway because the mirror is inside the tree. 300 rupees, but with a key in hand, Spooty will be able to head up and see what we have over in the final 3 of Escape.
Worth noting, this is when Spooty... Wait, where's the part in Eastern where you get those extra rupees? That's beyond the Igors, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in that dark section when you have to get the 2 Igors to get the key.
Yeah, okay. So not an option, is something the players could have done to sort out their rupee situation. Anyway, Spooty gets the Master Sword.
Ooh.
There it is.
Ooh.
Keys to the top door of Hyrule Castle have been found.
Indeed. Now, those 90 rupees that we're talking about, they're not bow blocked, but it's still not a fun room to have to go through when you're dealing with the Igors and whatnot. But guess what Spooty's now thinking?
Yep, he's thinking the same thing that we're all thinking at this point. Mirror at Lumberjack, most locations, if not all, in the light world checked at this point. Master Sword found. It's time to do Agahnim.
But here's the thing. Depending on where the hookshot turns out to be, that could be the only way to get to the East Death Mountain. So, for another reason, that mirror could be required.
Yeah, it's not often, I think, that you rely on the mirror just to get up and progress around Death Mountain in that way.
So right now, just based on what we're seeing from this game, unless we're missing something, the way this game wants you to do is a double dip of Eastern. Head on all the way through all of Hyrule Castle to get the thing that gets you up to Aghanim's Tower, and then find your way back to the start of it.
Yeah, that's right. The sword was in Eastern, and you need both sword upgrades to get to Master to get inside the tower. So you're absolutely right. Patty having no trouble with a lot of these dark rooms. Here in the escape sequence, he's going to be picking up his... This is just a regular sword for him. He has yet to make the play over to Eastern Palace, and we know now. He is required.
He's going to have to go into Eastern Palace now.
But really, there's not really anything else left for him to do, so fully expect him to be heading that way right now. Red Guard's really tricky with just a Master Sword, but Spooty's making it happen.
Yeah, this is an easier fight when you have the blue mail instead of the red, but he switches to his Fire Rod because he's going to roast these red guards.
Yeah, nice heads-up play there. I've got this Fire Rod. Might as well use it. Pretty low on magic, but hey, magic refill.
Hi there, extra magic.
It's going to help him a lot with Well, I was going to say that room, but that's not the one where you need to actually fight any enemies.
As far as Spooty is concerned, the only next place he's going to have to really fight would be Agahnim, but obviously this room with that one guard, you got to push him out of the way so you don't get pushed off the narrow walkway.
Yep, just throw the fire at him and he's done. Spooty going to be showing us Patty finding this Master Sword, probably going to be quite relieved to find it. In fact, he's out. He's done. He knows.
Yep, he does. So Mythical, we do a thing here. When somebody goes up against Agahnim, we guess the blue balls.
All right.
It could be anywhere up to 15.
I'm going to guess. Well, I'm gonna assume the player's not going to make any mistakes. So I'm going to guess 4. A little more than average. I think average is 3.
Well, I'm going to go with 4. There's 1. I'll go with 4 as well. We'll be both commentators on 4.
We're sticking together.
2.
We're doing good so far. 2 already. This is the 3rd possible. Not going to be one that's good for the players. And then 5th one is going to be this guaranteed lightning attack.
6th one is always a guaranteed orb. First of every cycle is always guaranteed. What happens after that, we don't know. Still don't know. So we're still at 2. There's 3.
Come on.
Can we get 4? Yes! And it's guaranteed 4. You and I win.
We win. Take that, chat. Except Fancore, except Fluffy Mittens. Welcome to the 4 Club.
Oh, wait.
4 of us in the 4 Club.
Not yet. Hey. We're not done yet. We're not done yet.
Oh, we miscounted. Oh,
5!
No, 5. Oh, we're all wrong. Oh, no. Oh, the club is disbanded. Everyone go home.
Yes, we are. It's 5. Okay, that's it. We're done. We're disqualified.
And God Awful Shelf and DJ Hef. We have 3 winners today for the blue ball count. All right, what is going to be on this pyramid? They're really running out of options for location. This is just a blue rupee, but Hammer's going to open up some things here.
It's a blue rupee, but what ends up happening now is you have pod accessible to you. You'll also have the Dark World Hype Cave also open. You have Stumpy and you have the Digging Game open.
All right, well, of those, obviously Hype Cave, the most appealing, lots of items for very little effort. That's where Spooty is heading off to now.
And if you grab the Mire, you can access the first half of Swamp, but you don't really want to do that without the hookshot in hand. All right, get yourself some hype. Mythical, what's in this Hype Cave?
Nothing. This is a Tripe Cave. You're going to have to do Digging Game for the progression item 100%.
Nope.
No.
Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Nothing. Total Tripe. Called it.
And
Spooty was hoping, because now he's got like a tough decision to make. Which of the locations you listed does he go to? They're all, equally unappealing.
Well, here's the choices right now. You can grab the Mire and go up to Tower of Hera. That's a dungeon you can beat. Or you can grab the Mire, go into Swamp. It's a dungeon that you can't beat, and you're going to have to gamble that you get the hook shot or a double trip. Or the same thing with Pod, because of the fact that you can easily become bow blocked.
Some Tower of Hera, I think, the most appealing option there.
I think the Tower of Hera is the most appealing because then you can use that hammer and get yourself to all 8 treasures that are on the east side of Death Mountain.
So Spooty's got his flute. We're fully expecting a Deathbent Warp as Patty's going to experience 5 blue balls here. The RNG randomizes what he's going to give you, but it's going to be consistent for both players.
And that's exactly the path he's going to make. And because he has the book and the Master Sword, he can also check what's on the Ether tablet.
And with the Mire, could he get to Bombo's tablet?
Yes, he can. That's another option.
Chat pointed that out. That'd be a really trolly location
Map
for something.
check. We have Turtle Rock as the green pendant. Swamp is part of the 5-6 combo, so it was Mire required. Agahnim was totally required this seed. even if you had some item that allowed you into the Dark World already.
Skullwood's also the 6th crystal, and they've already got the Fire Rod. So an early Fat Fairy check is potentially there. Still looking for this hookshot.
And Skullwoods was part of the 5-6 combo. Thieves Town was the other pendant. And we'll take a look at this in depth a little bit later.
So what do you think about Turtle Rock being the green pendant in terms of will they have to go there? Do they need to worry about things like the Ice Rod?
In version 26, if you got to go to Turtle Rock to get the green pendant, this is a troll seed.
We'll see. We've seen a couple for sure. Patty done with Agahnim into the Dark World. Expect him to also be heading to Hype Caves. Spooty's making his way. Nice sort of spin bounce combo there on the Buzzy Beetles.
And Luigi Patty checking the map for us, and he's going to go to Hype Cave as well. So he's about ready to be disappointed. You hear disappointment builds character, right?
Absolutely. And play enough Randomizer, you will have the strongest character that anyone's ever seen. Because boy, is this concoction people have ginned up a great way of dealing out large amounts of disappointment.
Heart container item number 1. That's the Sync Heart.
Yeah, there it is. Nice refill there. With Blue Mail and 11 hearts, I don't think Moldorm, dying to Moldorm is much of a concern. But thankfully, Moldorm is quite a unique boss in that even if you don't die to him, he still is very good at wasting your time if he knocks you off. And time, obviously, very precious. This is a race, so we'll see what kind of Moldorm fight he can come up with here. Not using the hammer.
I say hello, Trolldorm.
Hello. Hammer does twice as much damage. Well, the sword spin on Master Sword will do as much as the hammer, and you know what? It doesn't matter. Already dead. Totally flawless fight from Spooty.
Second item, so basement not required.
It's going to be good news. No one wants to have to wait for that tile room if they can help it, even though they've got both fire sources to light that up if necessary. And Patty is headed over to the digging game. First dig!
First dig! I think that's the first time we've seen that in the tournament here.
That's first I've seen it for sure. Only 20 rupees though, so a really big detour for not much gain. Unfortunate for Patty.
Well, in that case, guess the dig count.
Yep.
1.
Go ahead and guess it. Oh, too late. Ended that game before it even started.
So this is why Spooty ended up going up here, because there's a lot of options up here right now. There's going to be 8 more chests you can get via East Death Mountain.
First one's going to be here at the end of Spiral Cave.
And the Spiral Cave leads you to, well, there you go, the Power Glove.
That's really big. Power Glove and Hammer combined. I mean, they already opened up the Agahnim Dark World portal, but that's going to open up a couple more portals, as well as, all kinds of things. Power Glove, one of those very useful items.
Yep, that opens up your path over to Skullwoods and Thieves Town. You didn't have access to them at this point. So that's what that is important for. Now let's go ahead and check what's called Paradox.
Cheeto Sword.
Ooh, that's very nice to find. I've heard it called the Cheeto Sword, the Carrot Sword, and Bacon Sword.
It is something about that reddy orange color just makes you want to take a bite out of it for sure. Butter Sword, not so much.
Butter Sword just looks all filled with cholesterol.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of fatty foods, but mouthful of butter, not really what I'm all about. Finding just a wee little shield in the big cluster of 5 chests there.
The most important thing about that was getting the Power Glove, which will now open up the Village of Outcast in Skullwoods to Spooty.
He's revving up the flute here. Flying over to Kakariko, like you said.
And that's exactly where he's going to go.
Patty's heading to Spike Cave.
Yeah, and this is a sequence break, and oh,
He's dead, isn't he? He's super dead. Oh, red potion. Okay.
You better use it right now. Oh, good.
But no, he did get the gloves first, didn't he? Didn't he?
Oh, no!
Didn't he?
That's right!
Didn't
He
he? Didn't he? Oh, Patty!
Can't lift the stone, Patty, without the gloves.
All right. This is another goof for Patty. He's got to be feeling not so great about his play so far. I've seen that happen before. Sometimes people go to Spike Cave, forget that they need the hammer to get started. Spike Cave's a weird thing. Lots of people, it's easy to forget about, and then even when you do remember, sometimes you jump the gun and you don't quite have all the little things Spike Cave requires to get through it.
I'm seeing a whole bunch of Patty rips in the chat. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah. Patty doing a really good spin speed there. Spin speed up on Death Mountain. There's lots of opportunities to use it and save a lot of time because there's such big open screens. But at the other hand, there's a lot of ledges, and spin speed puts you in a state where you will instantly jump off the ledge if you touch it for even a frame. So it's a very volatile state there, and Patty actually doing pretty good on his execution there, at least.
Yeah, but he's going to be probably feeling a little tilted after blowing the Spike Cave, and he lost his potion as a result of it.
This Dead Rock is just on his heels, bringing him down to 5.5 hearts before he even sets foot in the Tower of Hera.
So this is an interesting play here from Spooty. He had decided to go right straight to the back of Skullwoods, and he may be working his way forward based on the items he finds.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, you wouldn't really find something that would drastically speed up this fight. And I guess there's a chance that well, it's not like you're going to find all the items in Skullwoods by going here first, so I don't know. I don't know if I agree with this play, but it's Maiden. That was a great fight. I wasn't sure how many of those hits were counting. If he touches the spikes, your hit kind of gets nullified. Finishing off with 2.5 hearts, gets to save that red potion, and gets a crystal to boot.
So that is the second crystal pickup for SpootyBiscuit. Patty working on his first right now. And Spooty's going to go check this chest over here on the front side first. Patty trying to do the bomb jump. He gets it, gets the heart container, and will bonk his way back.
Spooty opted to skip the bomb jump, do it the old-fashioned way by going up and falling down. Bomb jump a little faster.
But if you miss it, you don't know how to get yourself positioned for it, you can lose a bunch of time because you're falling down 2 floors.
Thankfully, it didn't happen to Patty, and thankfully, I'm sure he's not going to fall to Moldorm, speaking of falling down 2 floors. Stay away from that middle hole. Has the sword out, using it to prevent himself from falling. Not getting these spins, though, which is unfortunate. Oh, the diagonal hit.
And that was the final hit that was going to be at Moldorm Miles as well. So Patty has to start this one all over again. We already know it's in the pedestal. It's a piece of heart, unfortunately for us.
Fortunately for the players, especially Patty. He's got to not be feeling too great mentally at this point. Had a number of mistakes, and if anything's going to put you on tilt, it's Moldorm.
Patty getting the second item, and there he goes. It appears this first section had all the items. Because Patty's found all the keys, he has found all the other items, or Spooty rather has.
Spooty showing his unfamiliarity with some of these bomb jumps, having a lot of trouble getting it set up. He's also not going for any bonks. That gives you a
he's not buffering it.
These are really hard if you're not using all of the little techniques that people have come up with to make these bomb jumps more consistent. He's going to go ahead and give up after 2.5 hearts. Gets a mushroom. Weird little thing there. And wants to go back for more. Nope, he's out.
I think what he's more doing now is he's leaving and going back in. So if he ends up dying, he's right back to the start, and he actually decided not to. That was interesting. Okay. So he's now going to go the way the game intends you to get what is the fire rod in the regular game.
Going to be blowing up this gigantic wall. Ice rod.
Hey, the nice rod for that pendant turtle rock.
Don't ever rule out Turtle Rock. That's what I say. Gonna be nice to have this rod in the back pocket, I think. So Spooty down to 2 hearts. Murder Dactyls around the corner as he goes for a bumper cave check here. Piece of heart does not wake up the Dactyls. Very good.
Yeah, if you end up going towards that cave, you're at least going to wake up one of them, and he does not want to wake up either of them. Good decision to hold off.
Patty's about to finish up on Death Mountain.
And Spooty checking the north Hyrule. I like this play. Because what he's going to end up doing next after he's done here is he's going to go over, check the King's Tomb, and then he will check the trade the mushroom in and get to Catfish.
Yeah, that's a very efficient east side check of things. Even though he passed up Village of Outcasts, which has a lot of good things nearby it as well, you're not going to get a better opportunity to do some of these east side locations than right here, I think.
And the more you put it off, and the more you put it off, and it ends up having something big in there, the less likely you're going to be of getting back over there when you need to.
Yeah, it's a question of taking a risk, basically. Are you comfortable leaving this set of spots unchecked on the assumption that there's a chance you might not have to go there at all?
So 47 minutes through this run, Spooty's got to be thinking he's doing pretty fine. He hasn't really had any major issues, except for having to go to back to Kakariko Village to grind for rupees. For Patty, he's got to be nervous at this point.
Yeah, I won't be surprised to see Patty relatively safe here, clearing out these east side locations while he's here. Patty might just say, I'm gonna hope nothing's there, and just not do it.
So it turned out that was a good bee that was inside the bottle, so if they were willing to trade it in, they could get their 100 rupees, but Spooty has decided I need that space better to get some blue goo in it. So Patty is checking something new for us.
You just headed into Thieves Town, coming at us.
This is a pendant dungeon, so he might be just checking the first 4.
Could be.
Oh, that's neat. That's the first time I've seen the shrunken Luigi sprite. Titan in Thieves Town.
Nothing at Cat. A heart and all the places he checked on the way here. But these Titans mitts he's finally got something that he can kind of hold over Spooty's head here. He's definitely playing from behind, but that will go a long way towards catching him up. Then again, Spooty's just made his way to Kakariko. I feel like if anywhere he's going to go from here, it's going to be Thieves Town.
Yeah, he's got very few options of where to go right now. He can either go to Thieves Town or he can go to Pod. he can finish Thieves Town. So he's likely to head here next. So the advantage that Patty has getting these early Titans-Myth is very, very little.
Unfortunate for him. Approaching the Hellway here, see if he can find the pixel in the middle. Not even going to go for it. And let's see if he can firebar, barring the way just a little bit, but he's through now.
Spooty paying some rupees for 3 bombs in the chest game. And Patty just continuing on his path through Thieves Town, seeing if there's something else in here besides the Titans-Myth.
Spooty's going to check some of these other Village of Outcast locations before heading in. Pretty minor deviation.
Yeah, I think he's going to go check the Sea House before he goes into Thieves Town. But you're here, you might as well go into the Thieves Town at this point.
Yeah, it's not like he's missing the hammer or something and, you know, wants to do one last effort to find something that will make his Thieves Town go better. He's pretty well off as he is, but I don't know, maybe you find the sword upgrade or a mail upgrade or something.
Well, there's still a bunch of items these guys need. Obviously, that piece of part, not one of them.
Patty finding... oh, you know what? I'm probably behind. That's probably the piece of heart you were talking about. Yeah, alright. What's he going to find in the big chest on another piece of heart?
And that, I believe, he does take a look at his map. That is 4 items. He's gone. So if Spooty ends up mirroring out of here after getting the Titans-Myth, he will be picking up a bigger advantage.
Looks like he's not going to be doing that, at least until he checks this one chest.
No, he's going to go through. He's going to continue on, which is totally understandable. One of those things that you learn in version 26, you sometimes don't want to leave a dungeon that you've already stepped foot in, because sometimes the game has ways of making you pay for your mistakes.
Yeah, it likes to put items in dungeons, and sometimes you find an item in a dungeon and you're like, great, take that. And then it turns out, I put 2 items in that dungeon, actually. And now you're probably never going to come back here until it's way too late. Hellway getting banged up a little bit. Spooty also through 6.5 hearts. I mean, with blue mail and things, probably going to be okay here. Patty doing some hammer dashes. Going to go ahead and pick up this piece of heart.
And he shows it over the head of the dwarf Brett-Smith. Hey, look what I just found.
He's like, that's great. Take me home. Do you know what it's like to be a frog?
Ribbit. Well, of course I know what
all that comes out of his mouth, actually. He tries to say that, and it just gets a ribbit.
Well, that's all. I definitely know what it's like to be a frog. I played Mario Brothers 3.
That's what it's like to be inside a frog. Like, almost like Little Nemo. You just, like, jump down its throat and live inside it. It's actually rather grotesque when you think about it. And I think a lot of frogs would actually be insulted at the idea of that. So I feel like for their sake, for the sake of frogs, you should take that back. On a more serious note, Patty has the purple chest.
I think Patty forgot that he activated the flute earlier.
Yeah, he mirrors in and just sees the statue broken. He's gonna be moving on now. Turns it in. Single green rupee.
Yay, one of the 2 single rupees of this game.
You guys never played Little Nemo the Dream Master? Where you force feed animals candy until they do your bidding? I thought that joke would play. Patty's back in Village of Outcasts, checking out Sea House, some of the little places he missed. Spooty gonna be delighted. He doesn't have to spend a lot of time here at the digging game.
Hi. Bye.
We saw Spooty check Bumper Cave before, but Patty, that's not where he's going. He's going up to Skull Woods. Not a pedestal seed. The pedestal dreams were killed very early on by an early book. Spooty headed up there to check it pretty quick. Went kind of out of his way to do it, actually.
Actually, I think it was Patty who checked it for us.
I thought Patty passed it up, but he found the book in the dam.
Oh, that's
and
right,
didn't go.
that's right. Yes, never mind. I'm wrong.
Patty into Skullwood. Spooty's already cleared this dungeon, and he's already done with what he's going to be doing of Thieves Town, like Patty, so he's got a fair lead here, I'd say, but it's not insurmountable.
So you know where I think the next progression is going to be?
I want to hear it.
I'm thinking Mire Shed.
They've had that flute for kind of a while. They just got those Titan's mitts. They can check it almost at any time here.
Patty picking up the ice rod, which again makes us wonder about that Turtle Rock standing, because the bow could easily be at the Sarashla, so too could the hookshot.
Spooty's doing this sweep along the western Dark World, Ring of Flowers Cave, Purple Chest. Going to be checking Stumpy, perhaps, because I don't think either player did that. Just a heart piece there.
So Spooty's taking the long way around to bring back this chest, but he's checking other places while he's doing so, which is what you really want to do. Now Spooty's going to probably check the Bombos tablet for us while we're over here.
This is a location we kind of mused at being an option much earlier on to the players, but very out of the way, so it would have been kind of a bad move to come check it at that point, but we'll see if it's had something good all along.
Here's holding up the sword to get yourself the bow! Oh! Hello!
Something good indeed. This is Eastern Palace is a crystal, Palace of Darkness is a crystal, and Bo is going to enable them to complete both of them. And that's exactly where Spooty is heading.
5 items up for grabs in Palace of Darkness. They already grabbed all the items in Eastern, so nothing new to find there. But this is a move that Spooty needs to make right now, based on the fact that Logic wanted them to do so. So therefore, that book they found earlier was indeed required.
Patty's having a hard time with Mothula here, down to 4 hearts. Already drank that red potion and has no cape or anything, so it's these 3 hearts versus Mothula gets the clutch kill.
Yep, there we go. So right now, it turns out, as far as requiring Turtle Rock, the hookshot could be there, but the hookshot could also be in Mire. The Canes of Mire could not be in Turtle Rock, and we know they need that for Mire.
Could be a medallion to get into Mire.
That's the most evil of them all.
Yep, I think so. What is okay, that was just that was Bunny Luigi there for a little bit.
Yep, Patty got shrunk down to baby Luigi from, well, not baby Luigi, but the small Luigi from the 8-bit era. And SpootyBiscuit now knows that he has to go through the mimics on the right-hand side to make any progression in this pod. Patty's going to check the pedestal to find... Nope, not today. And he's probably feeling better about that, considering the fact that he left Thieves Town without beating it.
Oh yeah, that's got to be a bit of relief for him. He called the duck and then dodged it, headed back into the portal. He's thinking maybe it'll be faster to walk out of here. Spooty does that lovely little bonk to get back up on the bridge in Palace of Darkness. And then says, no, I wanted to go this way anyway.
Well, what he ended up doing was to reset those orb things to get them back on the other side in the center, instead of being hounding him as he's trying to make his way to the other world up the staircase.
Pretty clever manipulation of enemies there. Patty's doing the sweep of the northern and eastern dark world that we saw Spooty do earlier.
Hi, Blue Cane.
Opens up the Spike Cave possibility now that the players actually have the gloves. What else is Palace of Darkness gonna... It's gonna be the powder, another safety item.
Well, isn't that interesting? Are we talking fetch quest, guys?
Powder also... I mean, I think I would say it's a better safety item than Cane O'Brien, but also opening up the Magic Bat item. I guess you could argue Brian opens up Spike Cave, but lots of other ways to do that without the cane.
Yeah, we nearly saw Patty do it.
Almost.
He didn't have a lift upgrade at that point.
Yeah, he got past the part that required the cane, just didn't get past the part that required the gloves. Though, speaking of other ways to do things, it was known for a long time, but kind of only recently known by a lot of people, I think, that you could do the fake powder trick with the Cane of Samaria and the mushroom to like trick the game into thinking you have the power to summon the Magic Bat. Pretty interesting little thing.
That is correct, and that's a fantastic trick to know, especially on those seeds where the magic powder wants to elude you, and it turned out that you need to have that magic powder in order to get something good. So it's a good sequence break to know.
Bow going to work on the mimics here in Palace of Darkness for Spooty. Almost done clearing this thing out.
So in an hour and 2 minutes, Patty is clearly behind. What does Patty need to do to get back into this?
Well, he needs that bow, for sure. Absolutely needs to go get it as soon as possible. And then needs to somehow not do the Palace of Dark. I don't know. There's not really a big advantage left to find that can really give you... that can really save time.
He's going to have to gamble somewhere.
Yeah, he basically needs to find an item in a weird place that Spooty doesn't.
Hookshot and Swamp, perhaps?
Something like that, yeah. Something real nasty.
Uh-oh. I'm not liking this. This is not fine, guys. I think I know what Patty's about to do, and this is going to just cost him even more time.
This might even be the race decided right here.
This is it. He's going to go to pod, and now the lucky thing is, because the big key turned out to be in that second chest, he's going to be immediately bow blocked. but this is not a good move.
Yeah, it's not devastating, but on top of all the other things that have not gone his way up to this point, it's starting to add up.
Now, we said he needed to make a gamble, but unfortunately, this is the wrong gamble.
Yeah, well, it's not like... Gambling's not really a skill, right? You can identify the gamble and the odds involved, but whether or not it's going to pay off or not, you just don't know. So, if anything, he's doing the right thing by taking a risk in this situation.
Right, he's making a gamble, which is what you mentioned. We mentioned he may have to do to get himself back into it. It's just unfortunate that in this case the bow is not here, and he's going to get unlucky in about 15 seconds. And Patty, you don't have a key. You're done. You don't have a key. You're done.
I'll show you, he says.
Yeah, I think he's going to show us. He's going to go down to the basement here and try to get something else here.
It's one thing to come here without the bow and find out you're blocked, but it's another thing to...
Now, he gets a small key out of that, but the problem is by logic now, he's beyond where the bow is in the logic, and therefore, again, this is where knowing how the logic's going to operate and knowing that this is the spot where the bow blocks you off is going to be knowledge that you should use. But the problem is Patty is hoping for something big to break for him, and right now we just know this is not the right thing he needs to do.
Yeah, whether he knows or not, I'm not sure, because it could just be even more of a gamble to dive deeper and find like the hookshot or something in here. Like I can't imagine what sequence of items would allow that, but something other than the bow. He's hoping he can find back here.
He tried doing the hammer jump, didn't give himself enough time to do so. The floor was collapsing a little too much, but was not in position. So at this point where Patty is, the bow cannot be placed here by logic. It's the first 3 chests that define where the bow block begins. And this is a conversation that we've been having about this for a little while here during the first 2 weeks of this tournament. Spooty about to go up and finish against Eastern. We'll get the crystal for this. Now, what did we mention was the crystals for the Fat Fairy?
That was... Oh yeah, they're not on the... I always rely on the tracker for that.
Skull and Swamp. Yep.
Skull and Swamp.
So the hookshot cannot be at the double-chested fairy, then?
Yes, correct. What could be there is a medallion or the Cane of Samaria.
Spooty now making the play that I was surprised nobody had made at this point, checking Desert, or rather Misery Mire.
This has been a long time coming. They've had the option to check this for a long time, and we'll see what they've been missing out on this whole time.
Patty's in Eastern. And Bombos is found for SpootyBiscuit, so that now gives him a 2/3 access to Misery Mire. Because we didn't see what that medallion was just yet. He didn't give us a peek, and it's Quake, so he does have that.
One less thing required. Unless Trinexx has the hook shot or something.
That'd be pretty much the only thing right at this point.
Well, that's good news, at least for our players.
Now, I've been told by the developers, VTorp mainly, that they are going to be looking at the key logic for Pod and B. When we get to version 27, things will be a little different with regards to how Paths of Darkness is operating. But don't forget, while we're in the Swiss stage, we are still on version 26 logic.
So Patty got the sword here from Eastern Palace earlier on and then left immediately because he knew it was what he needed to progress and do Agahnim. So he didn't get a chance to look at what the remaining items were and know that he wasn't going to find anything else here in Eastern Palace, and now he does. He's going to need 3 visits to Eastern Palace in order to finish this seed. He's going to be heading to Mire now. He's going to pick up Bombos. It's really not going to help him. It's kind of all down to this bow, really.
If SpootyBiscuit finds the Cane of Samaria here in Misery Mire, this is a huge gamble that will pay off. Ooh, the big key right on the bridge. Oh.
Yep, this would be a fantastic go mode situation, but still looking for items, especially that Cane of Samaria here in Mire. This was one of the things I thought was a chance for Patty to get back in it. You know, a really trolly location. Spooty might not look for the Cane of Samaria, but here he is looking.
I was thinking more like about the hookshot, which Patty would be searching Swamp Palace for, maybe ice.
There's still that on the table.
So
where's he going next?
So Misery Mire has 2 items. Patty is not going to go for it just yet. He is going to go... Oh! He's going to check the 3 spots he can get access to on East Death Mountain now.
Seems like a fair play in this situation.
There's the Ether Medallion. Okay.
Guaranteed access into Turtle Rock. Still don't know what medallion is. Patty might actually show us pretty soon.
Patty is going to check the Spike Cave since he died in here earlier.
Well, he's got the cane now. He's got a lot more hearts.
He's got a lift upgrade.
And yes, most importantly, he's got the gloves.
And nope. Well, not yet. We're not done yet. We have not checked the big key chest yet. And I didn't see what was in that chest in Spike Cave.
Just a piece of heart. Patty is just sword spin. Oh, he's trying to get the spin speed going, which is a really nice way to get out of here.
Yeah, because he wants to mirror back out, go back up to the top, and he wants to check the stuff on the right-hand side.
Spooty doing the old moving blocks aren't really there trick, able to shoot these fire rod shots straight through.
Yep. And this is the last chance. If it is not here, Spooty is done with Misery Mire. It's going to be a double visit for him. So Spooty is hoping that this is the Cane of Samaria coming up. He will drop on down. And it's a bomb upgrade. It is the second item, but not what he needs. It's time to leave.
That's at least something going Patty's way in this race. Not going to be enough to catch him up by a long shot, but maybe more of these things start to go his way.
And Patty going the right side, and he reaches the bomb shop. It's right for the light world, left for the dark world.
Spooty's following Patty's footsteps here on Death Mountain. Whatever Patty finds, Spooty's probably not too far behind.
We will get a check to see what medallion is required for Turtle Rock in a moment.
And no Spike Cave check from Spooty.
Air upgrade, and that's red, but not the red we're looking for.
Tough luck. The hookshot and/or cane you're looking for in another castle. Could the hookshot be in the legendary one chest you can reach
Come
Here in
on.
Hookshot Cave, they're bonking.
Here we go. And it is no, a piece of heart. Hookshot is either an ice palace or swamp. It is ether for Turtle Rock.
Spooty's gonna go ahead and open it up while he's here. Does he go inside? What a crazy gamble that would be.
He can't. He doesn't have the cadence of Mario.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So even if he does, it's going to be a quick realization. Patty, is he making the play for where the bow is?
He's got to be at this point. He could be heading into swamp without the hookshot, though. Let's hope that's not where he's going.
So the dream still remains alive that the hookshot could be in Turtle Rock. And what a trolley avenue of directions you'd have to go to get that. Patty's making the play. This is the big play that he fell behind with just a while ago. He's about to get the bow.
Yep, he can finally start to make some progress here. Spooty also bonking to that chest. Not going to be finding anything. Patty, I expect to head right back over to that Eastern Palace of Darkness combo. Fluting to 5. There he is.
Yep, there he goes. And the play that Patty needs to make right now is to make a path over to Swamp or Ice. But again, he is so far behind right now. He's trying to play catch up with the stuff that he knows he has right now.
Finally, the Spike Cave check from Spooty. Not going to be anything here. Both players do not want to have to go to either Swamp or Ice Palace without go mode for Ice and just not having the hookshot for Swamp. Both are pretty unappealing, but they're pretty much nailed it down to one of those two places.
All items in Thieves Town were found. We know where everything is, so there will not be anything in Thieves Town. We know this is not a pedestal required seed. The only thing that could be really trolly at this point is whether or not Srashla has the hookshot. SpootyBiscuit is going to check the magic powder. Could Batman have an item we are looking for? Batman. Money. No.
Pretty sure that's... I think that's how the song went. But yeah, not quite going to be working out for Spooty there on the magic bat play. Are there any other little locations somewhere in the overworld left to check at this point?
He's going ice. He is going ice. This is a dungeon that he can beat. Yeah, you need a hookshot technically to get through certain parts, but the hookshot can be here, and it has been in the past.
It's just enough magic to kill the Freezord there.
I didn't even notice that, but he does have blue goo in his bottles, so he's fine as far as magic is concerned later on.
15 hearts and blue mail as well is going to be very helpful against some of the scarier bosses that are about to be coming up.
Well, I like finding a key in that first chest, not the big key, though.
Patty's in Palace of Darkness. He's been here once before. This is a double dip that Spooty avoided by having that bow. Into the turtle room now. Going pretty well. Not the perfect, super clean turtle room that you hope for, but any turtle room you can walk away from.
Patty going up against the Hookshot King. That is something we saw Spooty do earlier. He will mirror over to Eastern afterwards and get what the crystal out of there as well. Spooty is starting to clean stuff up, and we are running out of possibilities where this Hookshot, where this Canis of Maria can be.
Yeah, Spooty has completed the Ice Palace bomb jump. Was still getting into position the moment the bomb went off, so a bit of a clutch bomb jump there for him. Not that he's short on bombs or life, but
And when I'm playing this ice dungeon and I don't have a key, I'm really hoping these Freezors drop one. Now, hopefully Spooty will think about going to maybe doing Bombo strats. There he goes. And he doesn't have enough.
There's the refill. Blue potion gone. Not going to be an asset for the cold stare fight. But I think he's going to be okay without it. But, you know, that could be something that goes wrong that is pretty big. Having to redo Ice Palace is a really big endeavor.
You don't have the hook shot to clip through the block.
Yep. That's not a thing you can do. So that sucks for him. Looks like he's interested in refilling this. Nope. Going to be going up the stairs and going back around.
He's going to go to the jelly room first.
Yep. How often is it that you end up in Ice Palace without the hook shot?
In this version of the logic, more than I've ever wanted to be. And I say that seriously, and then I find it right in that chest that's besides the spikes.
Oh, you mean the one you want a hook shot to?
That's correct. That's one of the 3 items right there. Now, Spooty's going to be in a little bit of a conundrum as far as his situation in this dungeon is concerned, because he only has 1 key.
Spend it wisely. Chooses to mirror out.
Mirror. So he can use it on the one door he wants to use it on. That's on that 4th floor, taking you right from where that big, gigantic spike is.
Patty is wrapped up Palace of Darkness and is on his way through Eastern now. Nothing really to check here, just a straight Gomo dungeon completion for him.
Yeah, he already found all 3 items, so all he has to do is go right straight towards the end of this dungeon. So there are 3 items in here. Spooty has found 1 of those 3. So it's kind of one of those things where you don't want to go up against Cold Stare just yet, because you're still leaving an item behind. And if Cold Stare does not drop the item you want, well, you still got to go back in. Because at this point, we are still looking for the hookshot. We're still looking for the Canis of Maria. And we're running out of options where that can be.
Spooty's had a bit of trouble with bomb jumps so far. Not using the boots to sort of reduce the Link's movement and make it easier to find the pixel that he needs. But he does know the cue, so he gets it lined up and does get over there eventually.
And I'll tell you what, if Patty heads right straight for Ice Palace or Swamp Palace, he could take the lead in this race. He's not that far behind.
Yeah, he's missing Ether, which I don't think is going to matter. It'll be really trolly if it does matter. But other than that, they're equal on crystals. Spooty's a good deal of the way through Ice Palace. He's
going to ice.
This is really big. I thought that, you know, I wasn't going to like write it off, but I was getting ready to. And now all of a sudden, these guys are basically in the same dungeon.
So Spooty ends up going past the spikes. By logic, he does have what he needs to get to this other side. So this is not a sequence break, because he does have the Cane of Burno.
So how much time do you think does Spooty have kind of in the bank, having already got the Mire big key and things like that?
But considering where the big key turns out to be, if Canis and Mire and Hookshot are found fast for Patty, not a whole lot of time considering, remember, that big key was right on the bridge.
There's one.
There's the Canis and Mire. Oh, if the Hookshot is not here, Turtle Rock is the next option.
And then the Ether Medallion comes into play. I forget where it is. It's in Mire, right?
That was in Mire, yes.
But Patty will be going there with the Canis and Mire, so he will be able to complete it, avoiding the double dip.
Coldster has the final item.
What's it going to be? Spooty's making his way over there, pushing this block for the second time. I think it's the third time he's dropped down, maybe. Finally.
I think it's the second.
He's down to 5.5 hearts, and he used that potion, so he's going to need a really good Cold Stare fight. Blue Mail and Tempered Sword.
I think he still has red goo.
They definitely picked that up somewhere, and I know one of the players used the red goo at least. Anyway, using Bombos.
Patty used the red goo in the spike cave in the first failed attempt. Spooty did not. They got it in the race game really, really early.
All right, so he's got that in his backpack. We'll see if he needs it. He's got a pretty good job corralling them in. Switching to the Fire Rod, used Bombos to preserve some of his magic, and look at how much damage he dealt with that Fire Rod. No sweat.
And Red Rupee, we are going to Turtle Rock.
Is there a location in Swamp that can have the Hookshot? There's a couple.
Several possibilities. The front half of Swamp could have it.
Okay, so there's a...
But if you're taking a look at the breadcrumbs of this seed, and Spooty has already visited Misery Mire, he already pulled out both of those items. He might be thinking Turtle Rock at this point.
Yeah, they have that Ice Rod, they have that Medallion, they have the Canis Mire now, which I stupidly
forgot. And he is going Turtle Rock.
He is. Okay, so now this is, this is a choice, basically. We don't know which one is going to turn out to be the one that will save time in this seed. But he's made one choice to go to Turtle Rock, and Patty's going to have to make a similar choice after he gets out of ice. He might opt to go to Mire, but then after that, he'll have sort of the same decision to make. And depending on how things shake out, it could be a huge decider late in the race. Fall there for Patty right at the end of this really annoying ice loop room thing. Does this room have a name? I feel like it should if it doesn't. Getting fed up with the fire bar, pulling out the cane of burner for just a moment.
They're all annoying in this world. They are really all annoying. So Patty doing the same mirror trick that Spooty ended up doing.
Spooty already opened Turtle Rock, so he's free to head on inside.
Well, here we go. What are we going to find in here? The Hookshot is all we need for go mode. And Spooty knows about this. That's why he's going to go to the torch room here first.
No Hookshot, though. Gonna have to do it the slow way, so smartly recognizing that, going south.
This race depends on where this Hookshot is. It really does. If the Hookshot is here in Turtle Rock, that's pretty much game, set, and match here for Spooty.
Yeah, I don't think any amount of execution would make up all the time that Patty would need to make up. So it's definitely coming down to this route choice or some kind of disaster on the Ganon fight. Of course, always a possibility.
And Spooty's going to be checking once again. You have access to maybe one item coming up in this first section of Turtle Rock. That's a compass. That's not it.
Nice sword spin from Patty, getting all 5 of the Pengators, I think they are called. He's about to find the... Oh, well, he's probably not going to grab it just yet. Little does he know, walking right past the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, he's going to save it for once he gets some of these 2 chests like you normally would.
Chain Chomping Room with the blue mail, a little scary. Down to 5 hearts now is Spooty after getting tapped twice there.
Guaranteed key.
Has the magic powder, though. That's a really big relief here in Turtle Rock. Tons of anti-fairies all over the place if you need them.
Yeah, that's the big thing about Turtle Rock is the fact that they give you, if you have the magic powder, a lot of ways to get your health back.
Like, say, all 4 of these anti-fairies that come charging at you.
Yeah, plus the bunny beam here, or the anti-fairy beam, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what is the official name. Buki playing not so nice.
Does manage to chase down the Pokey. If you get a Pokey down to just ahead, it can be pretty annoying. It gets very fast. Down to 2 hearts now.
Got hit with the beam.
Yeah, laser shot him.
What's on the island? Half magic.
That's not bad. I mean, they have the Cane of Brian. If they had the magic cape, that would be a lot better, especially for Spooty, who is in a health crunch here. There we go.
Say goodbye to the health crunch.
It's tempting fate just a little bit there. I mean, you're not going to die straight up at 5 hearts, but still, could have grabbed those anti-fairies sooner if he so wished. Sword spins taking out both Pokies. Pokies can move in any one of 4 random directions on basically all the diagonals. So the 2 of them combined mean there's 16 different patterns that you need to kind of be ready for in that room.
What decision does Patty do next is going to make a bigger difference again? SpootyBiscuit checking Mimic Cave. Don't forget, Turtle Rock is the green pendant, so Sarashla will be open to Spooty once he's done with this.
Yeah, there's a lot of items worth coming up to Turtle Rock to check, even if it is a pendant. Patty having a great cold stare fight, not quite corralling them into the top right corner, managed to get them all the way down the right wall into the bottom right corner, and gets it done. So that's a crystal for him, and I feel like he's probably going to go to Mire first, and then after that, maybe he'll have to make the decision really that it comes down to. But who knows? He might decide to do something right away.
He might have that feeling because of the issues that he's had this seed, that he's behind. He might have to take a risk, and that's why we're thinking there's still a chance he would go into Swamp. But he is going to go into Misery Mire next. He will find the Ether. And that Ether is going to probably make him think of Turtle Rock. Spooty is now almost completely through. Has the laser bridge to come up. One of the keys will be in that laser bridge. That's already guaranteed. Oh, the bad thing about having Quake needed for Misery Mire is the fact that this Murder Dactyl does not go anywhere, and you're guaranteed to get a hit because of the fact that it's flying over you.
Yeah, he oscillates a little bit, but don't think you're going to be avoiding him. And you also don't get to execute the bird toss, which is a pretty big shame. Laser bridge here, number of items for Spooty. Looking for the hookshot.
Hey, there's that second arrow. There's a map.
Pretty sure he already has the compass, so
he does.
He doesn't find the hookshot here. His hopes lie with Trinexx.
Or Sarashla.
Either way, boss fight required for Spooty. Perhaps, who knows? Maybe the required items hiding in Swamp the whole time. Nice keen dash there for Spooty.
Big key early for Patty. What is he going to do next?
Missing that hookshot, he's probably still going to be checking locations here in Mire, which is a shame, because if he had, felt crazy or like, I'm really behind, need to make something happen, and he did decide to go to Swamp, and it turns out that's where the hookshot is, he would have been in go mode. He wouldn't have been able to. He would have been able to make this Mire trip much shorter, get even more ground over Spooty, who is having a pretty good Trinexx fight.
All right, let's see what we got. Trinexx almost down here on the second phase. Green Pennant coming up. Trinexx coming up.
Okay.
100 rupees.
Not the hookshot, but he is going to get this green pendant, which translates into yet another item. So we'll see. We'll see if this Turtle Rock visit has been for nothing or for everything.
Viddy cannot have the hookshot in this seed because we've already found both items in Misery Mire. SpootyBiscuit heading on over to Sarashla. All right, old man. Are you going to give us a pointy thing?
It goes boing and sprong and latches onto things.
If that's what the description says, then absolutely yes.
It's something like that. I think I'm grabbing that from Ocarina of Time.
Perhaps. Here we go.
What?
Magic Cape!
That's not a hookshot.
That is not a hookshot.
The bait. Oh, jebaited so hard. Gave them the ice rod and the ether, and then nothing in Turtle Rock. The green pendant, shining, the green light at the end of the dock, reaching out for it, hoping for this hookshot. Nothing.
Hookshot is in its vanilla dungeon.
It was all a lie. Spooty's on his way there now, and so you might be thinking, well, obviously he's ahead because Patty hasn't even got there yet. But Spooty did not finish Mire. He found the big key and cleared out a lot of items, but he didn't finish it. So it's kind of unclear where, who's in the lead. And remember, Patty still has to make the same decision. He has to decide to go to Swamp before Turtle Rock.
If he chooses to go into Turtle Rock, game over. If he goes into Mire, we've got this a lot closer of a race here. You know what I'm hoping?
Oh yeah, same thing we're all hoping. Patty's definitely made some mistakes. Some fairly foolish mistakes he probably is feeling like. And so that can be enough to lead a player to take a gamble. Like there's 7 items, including the green pendant item in Turtle Rock, and how many do you have access to in Swamp to look for this hookshot?
It is 5 items plus the 1 that you get from the Mimic Cave plus the green pendant to make 7 items total.
And then in Swamp, how many can you check without the hookshot?
You can get to, I believe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you can get the big key, so a 4 chest.
Okay, so that's 4 to 7. Obviously 7 looks more appealing, but it's not. It wouldn't be too crazy to go to Swamp, and if you feel like you're in a position where you need to make a gamble, I could see that happening, and I could see this becoming a very interesting race. Patty putting his powder to use, wants to make sure he's got a nice amount of hearts before heading into the Vitreous fight.
SpootyBiscuit checking to the south. There's the fireball shield. Totally not a hookshot, so we have to go left-hand side, which is very annoying when you do not have the hookshot.
Of course, the hookshot is going to be in the absolute last place
Indeed.
that Spooty checks. Patty had a pretty good Vitreous fight there. 1 lightning cycle was ready as soon as the lightning was over to start putting the arrows into Vitreous's big shiny eyeball. That's a crystal for him, and now it's big decision time.
Yeah, this is the decision that makes whether or not Patty still has a chance in this race. If he goes to Swamp, we have a race. If he goes up to Turtle Rock,
he's probably done.
He's going to Turtle Rock.
I don't think there's any coming back from this. Turtle Rock is it's a fairly long dungeon. That's a lot of minutes he's going to have to make up through pure execution.
And it's all because he got the breadcrumb in Misery Mire with the Ether Medallion.
You can't blame him. 7 items to 4. With like the breadcrumb aspect that you said, he's got the Ice Rod, he's got the Ether. It could have been the total reverse situation, right? It could have been Hookshot was up here and he goes to Swamp, and we're all thinking, why would you do that? There's 7 items. It's a green pendant. So
exactly.
Context is everything here. Patty's making what is ostensibly the
There's
smart play.
the Hookshot and a couple of hammer bashes there from SpootyBiscuit at 1 hour, 39 and 58 seconds. SpootyBiscuit is in
go mode.
Awesome.
It's going to be a little while for Patty. He's going to be clearing out the entirety of Turtle Rock, if the Dead Rocks will let him, before he comes to the same conclusion that Spooty did. Almost. So many things were not going Patty's way in this race. Some of them were on him. Going to Spike Cave without the gloves. That one's on you, Patty. But things like the Pod Eastern without the bow, because he didn't go to Bombos Tablet. That's a pretty out of the way, weird spot for that to be.
Here's the thing.
And it hurt him. It hurt him real big.
Here's the thing. SpootyBiscuit probably thinks he's really far behind because of going through Turtle Rock, because of some of the moves that he ended up making throughout this entire seed. This is a full clear for these guys.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of state that's going to put SpootyBiscuit in. If it, gets him frazzled enough to start making mistakes, has like some kind of death. I mean, he's got so many safety items and hearts and mail and stuff. It'd take something pretty awful for that to happen. But
and Patty ended up almost going the regular route to get these torches lit, but then realized, hey, look, I do not have the Hookshot. We have to do this the long and painful way.
Spooty's into the Argus fight here, hoping to get a 1 cycle, and instead is down to 2.5 hearts, and is going to have to deal with this invisible 2 cycle here. Argus doing a good job wasting his time.
He's going to be fine. He'll be fine. There we go. Two swings. Argus is down. This is the next to last match of week number 2 on the schedule. The other one is going on right now as we speak. That is going on right now on Speed Gaming 4 between Giselle Shaft and Willow J. Bradley. Once that match is done, and it'll probably be about 8:30, 9 o'clock, then we will have week 3 pairings. And I think there's going to be a lot of exciting pairings. Don't count the people in the 1-on-1 section down, because there's going to be some great matches in that 1-on-1.
There's going to be a couple people who are in 0-2 and are going up against some pretty scary names that had the things didn't work out and they ended up in there. So many skilled people in the tournament that it's only natural some of them are going to meet early on and give losses to the other, and that means you're going to have some pretty strong players who have gone 0-2 so far. And the 1-on-1 especially, like you said, is where most of those players ended up. Ooh, down to just half a heart is Patty. Pokey getting away, and all he can do is watch him. Anti-Fairy's coming in. Health, please. Gobbles up all 4 greedily and is able to move on. I think the matchup pairing might be done automatically.
Yep.
By challenge. So as soon as the data for the races is input, I think it's immediately going to spit it out. So
Yep, and then we'll have the pairing. Then we'll have the pairings for week 3, and you can do that by checking the links that you do if you do !ALTTP.
Heck, I'll beat him to it.
Even if you beat me to it or beat them to it, they're still gonna do it.
Probably. If someone on the internet in a position of moderate power says do something, someone is gonna do it. That's just kind of how the internet works.
Buy me a pizza.
Oh, if only. I would abuse that power. Oh, man. Pizza would have to talk to me about my pizza thing. You can't keep doing it, he would say.
Come on, give me a mythical cheese pizza with, what do you want on it?
I'm a pepperoni only kind of guy. I'm that guy.
Okay, half pepperoni, half just cheese.
All right. Yeah, you put a pepper on there, mushroom, pineapple. I can't eat it anymore. I can't, the whole thing out the window. Pizza preferences aside, SpootyBiscuit doing what is one of my favorite Vitreous strats of just putting on the heroic cape and jousting with all of these eyeballs, skewering them, dashing back and forth.
I love
pretty
that
mindless,
strat.
and yeah, it's effective and easy.
I really love that strat. He's asking if we had pizza problems again.
He brought it up. I didn't even. I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
Well, it's taking a little while before Spooty makes his way up the mountain to start doing our guessing game. But anyways, we do see Spooty, the first one, done with 7 crystals. While we continue to talk about food here.
As we do on Speed
And
Gaming.
contemplate things regarding what we're going to have for dinner or an early evening snack. Hey, it's Sunday Night Football. We could use some pizza. We could use some food.
Yeah, get some wings, nachos, some proper football food. I'm in.
Wonderful. It's going to be a party. Mythical, we're about to have a party of our own. There's going to be a bunch of numbers in chat. Tell us about it.
All right. Somewhere in Ganon's Tower, there's a big key door, and it's in our way, and the only way to open it is to get the big key that goes in the big key door. There are 22 possible locations available to us before the big key door as to where the big key might be, and the game is to figure out which location is going to have it. And they can check in different orders, and that means things get kind of weird, but we're going to count every location they check. We're going to count from 1 up to 22, and eventually that big key is going to pop out of a chest, and on that number is going to be the winning number. If you call it out in chat right now, then you win. You win something.
You win something. That's provided we can count that high.
That's right. Our counting abilities tested every time. That's why we do it, really. The origin of the game was really just practicing our ability to count to 22.
We didn't get enough counting in Sesame Street.
No, we didn't. I was trying to think of something you might watch instead of Sesame Street, but really, at that age, it's kind of the only game in town.
Well, there's Reading Rainbow, and that's pretty much it.
So you either knew letters or numbers, depending on what you watched. We watched we were letters in the day.
Okay,
so we need words.
Chest G then. Oh no, it's a number 2.
The game's over. Stop with the numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Number 2 is the winning number. Who said it? We're gonna scroll up. We're doing this.
So apparently the game knew that we couldn't count that high, so it put it in chest number 2.
1, 2.
And there's the key.
Got it. Denethor 97, winner. Mario Man 6644, winner. And one more, I think, that I saw. Willerseny, winner. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to our 3 winners. Look at all these people trying to get on the winner train afterwards, after the fact. No way.
It doesn't work.
Doesn't count. We've got our 3 winners. And we've got a very fast Ganon's Tower coming up. No silvers, though, so Spooty, you have to give it to these mimics stacked on top of each other. It does mean they're going to have to work a little bit for their Ganon fights.
Patty about to turn in the green pendant to find out that he was debated as well.
Magic cape. Yeah, there it is. Patty did say if he was going to lose, he was going to lose in style. So he doesn't mind taking a couple of seconds to put on a bit of a show there. And boy, does that Luigi sprite just communicate that frustration so well.
That is a bonk of the head against the torch. Patty now pretty much has that feeling that with the problems he's had all seed long, that he's got to be well behind Spooty and just wondering, why haven't I seen a dot done yet? I know this isn't a pedestal seed.
Well, you don't need a pedestal to send you into a bunch of pendant dungeons. They went into Thieves Down, got all the items there, I think. Turtle Rock, of course, cleared out. And I'm pretty sure we saw all the items in Desert as well.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, that's right. All right, pausing a little bit to powder that bunny beam means both these animals come out at the same time. Screws up the fight just a little bit. Oh, trying to track them down for the one cycle. Almost got it. That would have been really impressive.
Yeah, he almost got the two in the upper left corner at the same time. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, they were nice and kind of... And the fire rod, the sort of splash of the fire rod shot can hit multiple targets. Very hard to make it happen, but looked like it was about to there. He'll have to settle for a very solid 2 cycle.
Yeah, I did a little bit of practice a while ago, and it was one of those kind of scenarios where everything happened all at once. I won't be able to ever replicate that moment, but it's nice to see it.
Someone was talking about how they had a practice save state for Ganon to be in just the right spot for the quad hit 0 cycle last phase. I would love to see that in a race at some time.
Maybe Spooty will give that to us. So wait, we don't have silvers, and he only has 5 arrows anyway.
Maybe they're right here. Bombs. Maybe they're right here. I mean, odds are they're somewhere in Ganon's Tower. Can they even be anywhere else at this point?
They could be in the remaining chest of Swamp Palace.
That's true.
They could also be at the Pyramid Bomb.
How long is that? Finished what? Oh, it's Skullwoods and Swamp Palace. I guess they finished Swamp Palace pretty late here.
Yeah, it was Skull and Swamp, and because you ended up getting the go mode being the Hookshot, you had no reason to check the Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, so that could be vanilla silver arrows. Spooty opening up the validation chest, possibly for validation, but I suspect also wouldn't mind seeing those silver arrows.
So if it does say the Dark World, then we'll know that it's in the pyramid. Oh, Patty, you have to flood the room before you can get through those blocks. And this is just where the nerves are starting to really kill your ability to play straight.
Yeah, it's possible Patty's even kind of checked out a little bit. I mean, when you don't see that dot done, there's always still at least a little bit of hope, but he's got to be thinking it's going to be coming any moment now.
I think so far it's been a 1-2-1 fight.
I always have such trouble telling which actually are counting as hits when 2 of them kind of overlap. It's possible for one of them to get nullified, but overall, pretty solid Agahnim 2 fight for Spooty.
1-2-1-2. So if it's the Dark World, it's either the Pyramid or the Hookshot Cave. I was just reminded that the Hookshot Cave was not fully cleared because obviously the Hookshot was the Go Mode item.
Oh yeah, that is a very good point. 3 items there, 2 items in the Pyramid, and not sure how many they didn't check in Ganon's Castle, but I think that's the most likely location.
Yeah, it is. That's where the most amount of possibilities are. There's Patty getting the hookshot, and there's a couple of angry slashes of the hookshot against the wall. You could tell that he is just completely not happy with how this run is going.
I mean, it's hard to be happy about some of the things that went right, even though like some of the boss kills were pretty solid, things like that. When you make some of the mistakes that Patty did, and then you get led on that really trolly non-visit to Turtle Rock, it's tilting for sure.
Well, we're about to find out where those silver arrows are located. Oh, they were in Ganon's tower indeed. That was the big odds where it would have been, so here we go. Time for 12 spins.
Yep, Torch Glitch successfully activated, and that's good news because Spooty is down to 3.5 hearts. Does probably still have that red potion, like he pointed out, but this can be a pretty long fight. If you're really good at landing these spins and positioning yourself well, it can go by pretty fast. But Spooty's also, like, it's been a long race. A lot of things happened. He's got to be worried that Patty's also hot on his heels.
That would be hit number 6, so Spooty is halfway done. Make it 7.
His execution so far has been pretty much spot on. I think he maybe missed one spin early on, but other than that, he's been landing all of them.
So right now, 9, make it 10.
Ooh, we got that one.
11, this should be the final. There it is. Ganon is down. Spooty will win this race over Patty.
Finishing it in style, too. That was a great Ganon fight from him. We're going to see the dot done. Final time of 1:56.04.
Get your GGs out there for SpootyBiscuit, the winner of this match over Patty. We'll have him in for an interview in just a moment. And not a bad run here for Patty. Just some oops that he had ended up making throughout this run just came back to haunt him.
Patty's message. She took a moment there, I think in maybe the middle of the Argus fight, or maybe during this little crystal cutscene to type in the IRC, simply never gamble.
Really good theme of this run, too. And we welcome SpootyBiscuit to the conversation with us. Congratulations on your win.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, I need to ask something really quick about the logic, because I feel like I might have done something really stupid with my routing.
Go ahead.
So, with Kane where it was it considered hookshot blocked?
Kane Samaria was not hookshot blocked, because that was just before where you needed the hookshot to get across, but you also had the Cane of Burna too. And I believe because of where the keys were, you could have just mirrored back. But some of the devs who are in chat, they can go ahead and answer that for us.
Yeah, I like about halfway through Turtle Rock, I was like, wait a minute. There wasn't an early small key. Like, were those hookshot locked? Am I in Turtle Rock for nothing? And it turned out I was in Turtle Rock for nothing. But I've been trying to figure out ever since Turtle Rock if I was in there for like no chance of there being anything there, or if I was at least making an okay gamble. Like, I was beating myself up about that the whole race after that.
Well, we were with you during the race. We were pretty sure it was a possibility, but chat reporting, according to Andy, that Kane was in fact considered hookshot locked.
Oh my god!
By the logic, the entire visit to Turtle Rock unnecessary.
Yeah, it occurred to me like as I was about halfway through Turtle Rock. I'm like, wait, and it's just so hard to focus when something like that occurs to you.
Patty is going to be checking some of the places in Hookshot Cave. Didn't get a chance to see. He finds the shovel. Great.
And he bonks himself into the chest.
So let's see. You were generally ahead for most of the race, but I think the big thing came when you found the bow in the Bombos tablet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Patty went to Eastern and Darkness without that bow, and that was kind of the big difference that really split you guys.
I was actually kicking myself for not doing Bambo's tablet earlier. Because like I checked Desert almost immediately because I'm like, this immediate book has to be worth something, right? And I was thinking, okay, it's not there, so I should make sure I check the tablets, and I just kind of put off Bambo's tablet for a while. So I was ultimately I had the right idea, just the wrong locations with the book. But it's good to know I was able to get it earlier than he did in this case, because I was so sure I was behind after my kind of awkward early game, where I like went to Zora with 10 rupees short.
Yeah, well, you ended up missing Patty, who ended up just routing himself, trying to kill everything possible with a hammer, trying to get the rupees before going to Zora, and then, well, he decided to gamble on it because he only needed 10 rupees at that point, but it was unfortunate for him. At least you made the presence of mind to, hey, I know where there's 30 rupees. Let's go to the village. Let's go to the village and get some.
But if I had a weapon, I might have done the same thing. But at that point, I had no weapon, so it's like, well, I have to go to a farm spot. I can't kill enemies with enough enemies with my 4 bombs to get 10 more rupees, probably.
Well, you definitely handled that situation better than Patty. Interesting that you both found yourself in that situation. I guess the rupee count just put you right at about that 500 mark, depending on which rocks and bushes you picked up or which trees you pulled on would determine just how short or not short you were of that 500 mark. And both of you guys at about the same time were in the same rupee desperation mode. It cost Patty a lot of time running around the swamp Lake Hylia area with the hammer. And we knew at that point, because you'd already checked it, that the 20 rupees were waiting in the Waterfall cave. And we were like, oh, he's going to go and he's going to get it and he's going to be so happy. And he didn't go. He didn't want to take the chance. And that was the first spot where he fell behind.
And then he had the unfortunate incident regarding a spike cave and no gloves.
Ow. Yeah, the glove pickups were kind of tucked away in quite a ways into the seed this time. Good old doing Aga with no lift upgrades.
How about the placement of the big key in Ganon's tower?
It's pretty okay.
No right side, left side gambles this time.
Yeah, we made a thing out of the big key location guessing game. Made more of a thing out of it than anyone's ever made a thing out of it before.
We referenced Sesame Street.
Yeah, that's how you know we were serious. And then bam, number 2, game is over right away. You pretty convincing win here. But like it could have gone either way with just a couple of decisions, that were made, which is, I guess, is Randomizer in a nutshell. Really not saying anything new here.
Exactly.
But regardless of time and whatever, I think your play execution and the decision making, Turtle Rock hookshot lock thing aside, the information and knowledge you displayed. Yeah, it's good.
Right.
A good race.
I mean, that Turtle Rock thing, and it's part of the fun of Randomizer is that you get those weird situations that you, like, even after I've done hundreds of races, like, the fact that it was Hookshot Lock didn't even occur to me, because it's just not something that's happened before to me, that kind of setup.
I think there are very few people who would 100% know the answer to that question. Definitely us here in the commentators booth weren't aware, even though we should have, because apparently Andy said it in chat. You can't catch everything.
I didn't even think of that because, yep, that is true. If you do blow your keys in that ice palace, it would turn out to be the same scenario as what we were talking about in regards to Pod and the bow block scenario. Which was another case where Patty ended up losing time because he did go through part of Pod without the hammer. Or rather, without the bow.
Yeah. I'm probably And I can't even remember. I don't think I found anything in pod. But still, then if you don't go in without both, then you're leaving some chests behind, and then you're thinking there's other items in there.
Patty's rage is just completely out there regarding how much he's abusing these chests, the torches, and things like that.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. Little anger at the validation compass.
So we will never find where the... He's going back for more! Oh boy! He's got to take it out on these mini Helmastars.
Yep, you don't get a chance to see this bizarre slime bag looking sprite thing, but that's what Quake has the power to do. If you can't win the race, you might as well
have a little fun doing it.
Yeah. Patty did say up front that he was going to lose in style.
That's not the right Agahnim.
So you were pretty low on hearts in your Ganon fight. Were you nervous at all, expecting maybe the dot done to come up from under your feet?
I was ever since some of those awkward early game routing mistakes, I had convinced myself that I was miles behind the entire race. So I was ready for the dot done at any second. And when I missed the trident spin, I'm like, oh man, that's gonna be it. That's what's gonna lose the race. I was getting so nervous. Every little mistake I made was, well, there goes the race.
He's bonking himself into the pyramid.
Yeah, you had to find the angle to make sure it could happen. Well, your final Ganon phase was pretty much spot on, especially the 3 spins on the very last cycle. So performing very well under pressure there. We'll see if Patty can do the same. He's immediately down to 2.5 hearts.
Yeah, I don't think he has a safety. And down he goes.
Getting a little greedy there, going for one more hit than he should have. Expanding Firebat's circle.
And Patty bonking his way back in.
No fairies, no potions, just diving right back in.
Yeah, despite the fact that I felt like I had too much health in the early game, somehow I ended up we were both ending up with low health on Ganon. I routed escape last so that I could, because I knew that Agahnim was required, and I was gonna death warp after, checking Zelda's chest and the escape, but then I had 11 hearts and blue mail, and I couldn't. It was really silly.
That feeling when the game does not want you to death warp.
Getting 2 cycles here on the fire spin phase. Pulling out that hookshot he took so long to find to use the invincibility frames. Gets hit twice.
Gone.
By fire bats, and the health bar just evaporates.
Blue mail plus bats equals bad situations. Okay, how are you going to enter this time, Patty?
Ring around the rosy. Duck, duck, goose jumps in.
Take 3. Action! Well, that's what that is what Patty's trying to do. He's trying to put Ganon out of his misery, dead.
Patty's hoping someone will put him out of his misery pretty soon. He did straight up ask, "Can I quit?" And I let him know that it is a possibility. But I also let him know, because I know that you guys out in chat really want to see Patty finish. So I think for your sake and mine, he's going to play this out.
That's fine, because coming up next, we have Earthbound on this channel.
Yeah, actually, I should make sure that it's not going to run too long. Oh, this is a nice spot he's found himself in. He might have trouble getting out of here. Yeah, he's going to switch to the Cane of Bernard. Just as the Fire Bat crosses over him. Did he get his 12 hits?
The
Cane of Lag affects things outside the game as well. Poor Adirondack Rick getting caught up in that. That's the price you pay for invincibility. Unless it comes from a cape, then it's totally different.
Don't get bounced back into the hole, Patty. Please don't get bounced back into the hole. You have blue gold, by the way. Use it.
Oh, Mrs. Torch glitch. Half magic's going to go a long way towards making this fight happen. But without silvers, he's in for the long haul. Does have the blue potion. He's using this fire rod to light the torches, and it's pretty ballsy.
I think he's doing it because he has the blue goo, so he wants to get the magic upgraded as well as to get his life replenished.
Oh yeah, you know what? If he hugs Ganon, he's dead, so he's probably thinking, I want to heal sooner than later. So rather than have the MP bar be the thing that... the health, rather, be the thing that determines when he uses the potion, he wants it to be the MP bar, so... going to be using the increased mobility of the Fire Rod to get as many hits as he can before he
That probably is the last one he can do before he has to go to the blue goo.
Yep. He can maybe like do one shot, then goo. Yep.
Yeah, he's going to have to go blue goo now.
All right, there it is. Where's Ganon? He's somewhere down there. Oh, he's on the right side for now.
Okay, good. He's going to stay right side.
Didn't go for the spin, so he's going to, guarantee himself that he gets 2 here. Well, 1 because the torch just went out. Still using that Fire Rod, half magic, going to preserve his magic for a pretty long time. He doesn't need too many more hits, so I think it's totally fine. Unless he misses more spins like that.
Yeah, that was totally a miss. Come on, Patty, you can do this. Let's get you to the finish. No, didn't get a chance to get the spin off because he got hit by the bat.
Torch is coming out again at half magic, but half magic upgrade, making his half magic full magic.
Come on, Patty.
He's got to be almost dead. Not going to be able to hit him there. Going to wait him out.
Yeah, it's good just to wait. There
That's
it is.
12. Typing plus dot done, and then finally dot done. Patty has finished in second place with a time of 2 minutes, 2 hours. 2 minutes would be pretty solid. 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 52 seconds.
And the moonwalk in.
That's the style he was talking about. Dun, 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 dun. GG coming up from the Triforce. I don't know if he wants to get in here and talk about what just happened, or maybe he just wants this all to be over as fast as possible. I don't know. Just a feeling I'm getting.
That's the impression that I get.
But he's a fun guy, though, so he's probably aware of some of the comedy of what happened, and I wouldn't be surprised if he wants to come in and...
No, if you're not used to Patty's comedies and just to watch Andy's run at a SGDQ, his swordless run, we got a Patty waiting in the waiting room. Want to bring him on in?
All right. Joining us now, after an arduous set of Ganon fights and a couple of other interesting moments, Patty, how are you doing?
Bad.
Yeah, I was expecting that.
Bad. Really bad. Not good. Overall, unhappy.
Joining us after an arduous Where do we
set
start?
of
Ganon fights and a couple of other
That's up to
interesting
you.
moments. Well, I started how about something fairly innocuous? You went to Dam first, very first thing.
Yeah.
What was the thought process behind that?
I usually forget if I don't go. So I just start and go there and then go to Sanctuary so I don't forget later.
I like it.
It's such a weird spot.
Yeah, I like the idea of like knowing yourself and knowing your own weaknesses and just doing what works for you, because it's really not that big of a time lost in efficiency, right? So
No, not at all. Go ahead. I'm sure you.
Well, things go down.
I'm sure you got. Yeah.
A little later. You prioritized escape quite a bit.
It's because
compared
last
to-
race I forgot.
I'm sensing a pattern here.
Yeah, I'm not very good at this. Yeah, last race I did, I forgot escape, and it really screwed me over. So I wanted to make sure I did it this time.
And you got the Quake, which you showed to us in the mini Helmassar room to get some revenge against them.
Yeah, I don't like those guys. Not at all. I don't like those guys at all.
We could tell. So I'm going to ask you, and just remember this is a PG-friendly stream. What choice words did you say when you got to the lift block in the spike cave to find out you couldn't lift it?
God redacted. Piece of redacted. Redacted this. This redacting sucks.
It's a shame you ended up having to use up your red potion to get to that point.
Yeah. I didn't need it for anything anyways.
How about the hookshot being in swamp?
Now that I knew that I had been playing horribly and that my route was garbage, so it was either dive swamp and hope that hookshot's in there, or trust that this version of the randomizer logic will do what it does best and completely screw me over.
Completely redacted.
But I got reversed psychologized.
Hey, same here, man.
Now,
And then-
apparently,
I was hoping that when I dove swamp, like, God, please don't let me get the hook shot, and then I'll go do the powder thing, and then Bat will have it, and then I'll be tied-ish maybe, even with my 60 bonks. No.
So apparently, and this was something that we had mentioned to Spooty, it was mentioned in chat. According to Andy, it was determined
Screw that
hook
guy.
shot.
I don't even want to know what he
Alright.
said.
According to sources, the King of Samaria was actually, like, it was in Ice Palace. It was actually hookshot locked in terms of where the logic will place it. So it was actually impossible for Turtle Rock to have the hookshot because you need the King of Samaria to get in.
What?
And it just
Yeah.
goes to the same logic regarding pod and why the bow can't be beyond the first 3 chests. It's regarding key usage.
But yeah, the big thing being you could have. And now here's the thing: Spooty did the same thing. He went to Turtle Rock looking for it as well, and most of us actually weren't aware of that sort of kink in the logic. So if you had known, and I can't blame you for not, I certainly didn't. But if you had known and gone straight to Swamp, you guys would have been pretty darn even, and I think it would have been pretty awesome.
Yeah, the possibility that hookshot lock occurred to me like halfway through the dungeon, and it was eating at me the entire time I was running through it. It was not a good time.
No.
It's not a good time to be doing a dungeon, and the entire time you're thinking to yourself, "What if I'm just a complete idiot for being here?"
What if every
That's
second
what I
I'm
think.
still
That's
here?
what I think every time I do one of these races is, what if I'm just a complete idiot for deciding to do this? And hey,
No,
I am.
No. Even if you took 3 hours, you're not an idiot. For
Oh God, no! Don't say
You're
things like that.
You're a brave soul. I didn't enter. I like Randomizer, but I didn't enter the tournament, right? I mean, I wanted to do commentary, but like, there's something to be said for getting in there, jumping in, doing it. And you know what? 2 hours is 11 minutes for such a bad seed.
The seed wasn't bad. I was.
There were some things in there. The point
I've
I'm
had
getting at,
way worse.
you're being
For both of us, it
awfully
came down to that hookshot and swamp.
Yeah, that was dumb. At least it wasn't hammer in the first chest and swamp. I've had that. That's a good time.
While we had a good time, watching you guys.
I'm
race.
glad.
I'm just gonna say this before we move on because we gotta get going to Earthbound. But at least you didn't pull a Rick and blow yourself off the Moldorm 2 platform playing around with bombs in a qualifier.
Ugh. You gotta know that bombs don't hurt our boy Moldy. Come on now. Come on, Rick. You're ashamed to the second part of my first name.
All right, we got to get on out of here. Earthbound is coming up next year on Speed Gaming 2. Your thoughts heading into week 3, guys?
I get a week 3? Cool.
Yeah, we're not going to eliminate you out of this just because of what happened tonight.
Dang.
We're not going to redact you.
GG, Spooty.
Yeah,
GG.
GG's, man. Yeah, I'm excited for week 3. Looking forward to it. I'm. There are some pretty crazy players at like every win-loss record so far in the tournament. So, there's no telling what's going to happen.
All right, let's get on out of here.
Crazy randomizer tournament.
Yep.
SpootyBiscuit, Patty, get a GG for both of those guys. And also thanks to Blast Egg who tracked for us. Mythical, we got Earthbound coming up next. So I'm Adirondack Rick saying goodbye.
That's right. Stick around here for Earthbound. There's another Link to the Past match in progress still on Speed Gaming 4. You want to check that out. That ends at about 9 o'clock. And then the pairings for the next round are happening. It's going to be exciting. So keep an eye out for that. And we hope to see you then. Cheers, folks.
Bye.
You're all right, Rick. You're all right.
Thank you.